president requests people of Gaul to provide information on drug dealers anonymously. Police says accusations have not been leveled against a single person for the destruction of an archaeological site in Kurunegala. Court order issued preventing the mayor and several others from entering the site. Heated views expressed in the political arena. How did the Indian Intelligence Service receive information about Zaharan Hashim? A state intelligence officer reveals at the Presidential Commission probing the 21st April attacks.
Good evening and welcome to Primetime News. I'm Sandro Ferdinando. Let's take a look at your local news. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa met with the people of Gaul today.
The President commenced his journey from the Hiniduma electorate and joined the public meeting organized by Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna candidate Sampath Athukorala in Nelluwa. According to the President's media division, the President has visited the Nelluwa National School and had looked into the shortcomings the students face. Farmers who plant minor export crops have presented their issues to the President as well. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa promised the people that he will take steps to revive the jaggery industry that has hit a halt due to the raids carried out by excise officers. The President's media division said that a 9-year-old child had handed over his money tail to the President as a donation for the COVID-19 fund. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa joined the public rally organized by the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna candidate Isuru Dodangode in Vanduraba, and the President had been informed of the issues faced by tea planters in the area. According to the President's media division, the President has promised to develop all the roads in the Gaul district. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa pointed out that the people should be motivated to cast their franchise with more enthusiasm at a public meeting organized by the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna candidate Geeta Kumarasinghe in Alpitiya.
Meanwhile, the Attorney General has obtained a court order from the Kurunegala Magistrates Court to protect and prevent access to the demolished building in Kurunegala with an archaeological value.
A senior state counsel appeared before the Kurunegala Magistrates Court based on instructions of the Attorney General. He appeared before the magistrate to make some requests about the damage caused to the building considered as the King's Assembly Hall in Kurunegala. Accordingly, the Kurunegala Magistrate ADCS Hevavasam issued an order to the Mayor of Kurunegala Municipal Council. The Magistrates Court has issued an order preventing the entering of Mayor, Deputy Mayor, Municipal Councillors, Commissioners, Engineers and the staff from entering the building. The magistrate has also informed the Mayor about this in writing. The core cabinet spokesperson said there is no obstruction in implementing the law in this regard.
The law enforcement authorities have the freedom to arrest those responsible without being influenced by political parties. The government is of the stance that if a mistake has been made, the law can be enforced independently to punish those responsible.
However, the police said that according to the investigations conducted thus far, allegations have not been levelled at one single person.
Based on the investigations, accusations have not been levelled at a single person. Investigations are still ongoing. We will act accordingly based on the evidence we receive. The Attorney General has also instructed officers investigating the issue on how to proceed with the investigations. Investigations are ongoing under the guidance of the Attorney General.
The statements made by the Kurunegala mayor have created an understanding about the party who destroyed the artifacts in Kurunegala.
We were informed in 2016 that a section of this must be demolished for the construction of the road. As per the request of the Road Development Authority, we removed this section of the construction. Here is the building and here is the section that the RDA wanted to be demolished. This is the main drainage. We removed the part near the drainage.
At a time where clear revelations have been made by the Kurunegala mayor as to who demolished the King's Court in his town, no arrests have been made yet and investigations are still ongoing. Against such a backdrop, Minister of Highways Johnston Fernando assured that he will ensure the safety of the mayor.
As long as I am the leader of the district, I will not allow anyone to harm a single hair on the mayor's body. That era is over. Anyone can dream of it, but no one can achieve it. I advise the mayor to stay safe during this period.
Minister Vimal Veeramansa publicly criticized this statement yesterday.
Johnston Fernando Amatutuma.
I do not accept the speech made by Johnston Fernando. That sort of politics belongs to the past. That is not the future of politics. If one has not committed a wrong, no one will harm that person. Such claims are part of a defunct political ideology. Some of our politicians have not updated themselves. That is the problem here.
Yavat Kalina Velane. Ekai Mithana Tiyana Awula.
Minister Vimal Veeramansa, who made this statement yesterday, expressed his views furthermore at a political meeting held under the patronage of Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa in Kaduwela later last evening.
We used our full force to protect the government. Also, we presented some controversial facts. If we had changed some of those things we presented before the 8th of January 2015, we would not be talking about a defeat on the 8th of January. This government led by President Gotabaya Rajapaksa and Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa is a nationalist government. This is a government that will fulfill public aspirations and will safeguard national heritage. This is a government that will take action against any entity that will touch our national heritage. We have also formed a presidential task force to protect archaeological sites in the eastern province. We identify the cries of the people. Our government is one that will nourish the great historical heritage of our nation, and we will not allow the roots of the nation to end up in ruins.
I have a responsibility. We all have a responsibility to speak for Vimal. We spoke for Vimal everywhere. We expect his victory. He is someone who stood for the nation and the country at all times. When the Kurunegala incident took place, it was Vimal who called me immediately. Thereafter, I got to know the truth. I am sure that he will emerge victorious.
Whoever the Rajapaksas want to safeguard, they safeguard for as long as they want. But when they decide to stop protecting those people, they will sacrifice them and abandon them. It is the same scenario with Minister Johnston Fernando. He will also have to go through what I did someday. It will happen soon. It is the responsibility of Sinhalese Buddhists to preserve the remains of ancient kingdoms which are deeply embedded in our history. Those who are not Sinhala Buddhists will not feel this way. Do not hate Sinhala Buddhists. Do not gear yourselves to destroy our heritage. Kalingamaga attempted to do so back then, but we fought against those forces of evil and won. As a Sinhala Buddhist, I am not prepared to create an environment conducive for a modern embodiment of Kalingamaga to be born. I will act against it.
Kurunegala district candidate of the National People's Power Namal Karunaratne lodged a complaint regarding this incident at the Kurunegala police headquarters.
The demolition was done on the 14th. The complaint was made on the 15th. No one has been arrested as of today. When statements are being made publicly for everyone to see, why is no one being arrested? If the law is not enacted on these people in the coming 2 to 3 days, we will file a case at the Court of Appeal.
Former Minister Mervyn Silva engaged in a religious activity at the Kathireshan Kovil in Anuradhapura over this incident.
If there is anyone who is destroying the culture, punish them. This is in the hands of the god of Katharagama. God of Katharagama is from Ruhuna. So am I.
Meanwhile, national organizer of the SLPP, former Minister Basil Rajapaksa, attended an event which was held in Galle last night. Now, during the event, the former minister expressed his opinion regarding several political occurrences.
As of late, we have had to answer various statements made by people and demolitions which have been carried out. I feel the best service they can render to the party right now is keeping quiet without making controversial speeches. We are now contesting a general election. We are glad to note the person who claimed he would make us walk on the road if we create a party is also contesting from the flower bud. We are proud of it. We accepted him with open arms. There is a saying which goes, a person who has been attacked with fire fears even the firefly. I too am scared. All MPs, chairmen and mayors should work hard. We will not forgive people the way Mahinda Rajapaksa forgave Mervyn Silva. We have been given great responsibility. We cannot lose again and be imprisoned or attend court hearings. A candidate from our party has sent me a clip of her saying that our party has fielded donkeys and horses for the election. She then asks me if that was a smart statement. Then I said even though there are no donkeys and horses in the list of candidates, a donkey has certainly been present at the nominations board the day you were given nominations.
If we do not appoint intellectuals to parliament, President Gotabaya Rajapaksa will also go through what the previous government went through. This time around, the SLPP has given nominations to both donkeys and horses. It is up to us to send the horses into parliament and send the donkeys home.
This is an election to right our wrongs and fulfill our shortcomings. There is no point boasting. Many of these people only know to boast. These are mistakes made by party leaders. I blame the party leaders.
A tense situation arose at the Pudujana Peramuna election meeting which was held today in Kantale. The cause for the incident was Aryavati Galapati, who is a candidate of the Sri Lanka Pudujana Peramuna, not being allocated front row seat.
A meeting of the SLPP was held in Kantale today. The meeting was graced by Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa and the candidates contesting from the Trincomalee district. The Sri Lanka Freedom Party member Aryavati Galapati, contesting from the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna, was visibly enraged when she realized that a front row seat was not reserved for her at the meeting. She then got on the stage and sat at the front row and was seen reprimanding the organizers. Thereafter, organizers took measures to allocate her a seat beside Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa when he arrived at the meeting. Meanwhile, a meeting attended by Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna candidate contesting from the Kandy district, Vasantayaba Bandara, had been abruptly halted yesterday. The meeting was halted due to a raid carried out by the police and the National Election Commission based on a tip-off received.
The country should know about this issue because group leaders have been appointed and they are candidates too. How can I betray the group leader? We have to protect the group leaders. How can we betray them? I inquired if refreshments will be distributed. They said that they will not provide food. Utpala Jayaratna and officers of the riot police. So I don't have any connection to this. I was invited, citing that teachers have organized this. I asked them about the refreshment and I was told that food will not be provided. There were many meetings in Teldenia. We saw how people were gathered at meetings of the President and the Prime Minister. So why is this a problem only for me? The I am shocked at how professionals of my team are attempting to attack me. This is a repetition of the same politics that have taken place in the past. I say that the same situation is being created through the professionals as well.
Thereafter, SLPP candidate Vasantayapa Bandara left the location.
Candidate of the United National Party, Palitha Thevaraperuma, had been involved in an altercation yesterday after intervening a pipeline construction that he claimed was not properly taking place. Palitha Thevaraperuma sustained injuries following the altercation and continues to receive treatment at the hospital. The contractor of the project has admitted himself to hospital, alleging he was attacked by Thevaraperuma's faction. Palitha Thevaraperuma had interfered the construction of the project, which is being carried out in Velkandala, Mathugama for a second time yesterday. Palitha Thevaraperuma had also lodged a complaint at the Mathugama police claiming he was injured during the incident. The contractor of the project has been hospitalized after sustaining injuries to his arm.
Palitha Thevaraperuma මේ සවලකින් ගහුවා මට එතන වැඩ කර ඉන්නකොට මාධ්‍ය ෂෝ එකක් දාන්න හැදුවේ එතන මං කෝ ඔයාට අදාළ නැහැ මේක කරන්න කියලා ඊට පස්සේ මේ ඔහු සවලෙන් පහර දුන්නා. එයා කියන්නේ ඔයා කරන්ට් එක ඇල්ලුවා කියලා කියනවා. මේ බොරු කතා ඒවා ඉතින් එයා මාධ්‍යයට දාන ප්‍රදර්ශනනේ. ඔයා යදියේ මාධ්‍ය ප්‍රදර්ශන දාන මිනිහ නෙවෙයිනේ. එයා මේ චන්ද්‍රිකා මාධ්‍ය ප්‍රදර්ශන නමුත් මෙතන සිද්ධ වෙන්නේ මේ රජයෙන් කරන මේ ව්‍යාපෘති වළක්වන්න මේ තියෙන තරහට ඡන්ද ප්‍රශ්නේ නිසා තමයි විශ්වාස කරන්නේ.
When certain individuals fight to obtain votes to serve the public, people are fighting day and night with elephants, water shortages and farming lands. They do not seem to have the urgency they have to seek for votes to resolve the issues the people are faced with.
This story is from the Athurupalayagama village of Karuwalagaswawa in Putlam. Villagers say regardless of the measures they take, elephants continue to encroach the village and destroy their farmland in one night. This is the damage caused last night. The villagers shared their experiences with the officials and the issues they are facing.
When we go to purchase firecrackers, they ask for a letter either from the Grama Sevaka or from the Farmers Union. They don't issue these without this letter. Wildlife officers are there, but they say that they don't have vehicles. Now they have vehicles, but they have not taken any measures to chase away the elephants. When we ask them, they say that they will come today, tomorrow and so on. But it never happens. This is what happened last night. The fence is destroyed and it's not repaired yet. They said that this is an electric fence. However, there's a doubt as to whether there's any electricity in this.
විසඳුම් දෙනවා කියලා දේශපාලන වලින් ඇවිල්ලා කතා කරනවා වෙන කට්ටිය කතා කරනවා ඒ වුණාට කිසිම දවසක විසඳුමක් වෙන්නේ නැහැ.
People in Athurupalayagama say that they cannot live like this in fear anymore and they are demanding that the wild elephant fence be repaired.
When the elephants came in, I was hiding under the tent with great difficulty. Thereafter, I ran from the other side and saved my life. Otherwise, I would have been killed last night.
Meanwhile, when elephants are destroying the farmlands in another part of the country, the villagers in Pahala Athuraliya in Mathura complain that their harvest is destroyed by weeds. There is a serious concern to the paddy harvest. The paddy fields in Yamamulla, Rajagalgoda, Kamurupitiya, Akurassa, Balakavala, Kadduwa and Dampalla are affected by this. Villagers complain that the lands that they cultivated in the month of May have been affected. We do not know the name of this, but it has covered the whole field. Thereafter there are small plants. This plant is called Kudumatiyava. This should not die regardless of any pesticides used. Now there are about 10,000 to 15,000 acres which are affected by this. Villagers say that officials should be concerned about their problems since these villages are always dealing with such situations.
Meanwhile, while the paddy which was supposed to be harvested gets destroyed, farmers of many villages in Madirik area are suffering due to the spread of mites. About 45 families in Kadurugaswawa are living from daily farming.
When these mites attack the paddy, although it looks like there are seeds inside, everything is empty. From this, you can neither eat rice nor boil it. It is destroyed. This time, mites attack even before it blooms at the stalk level. When the stalks came up, we have been spraying pesticides for about 4 times. When we look at this now, farmers may have to stop cultivating. No one believes us when we complain. I pawned my wife's earrings and the necklace to get 40,000 and cultivate these 2 acres of land before. This time, I am unable to save these lands.
These villagers say that they feel great pain when they hear what the politicians say at public meetings, when they have no solution but to go out to the road with their children in search of help.
So the Lakshapan estate is where this incident happened, where this rare black leopard got caught in a snare and it died. So why we are going to Lakshapan is to understand, first of all, how it happened, and most importantly, why it happened.
Snares are now a threat for leopards that we will really need to seriously consider.
It's obviously it's a nasty death. It can be a very nasty death because it can take a long time.
So we have limited stock and we can't attend everywhere.
Welcome back. As things in the political arena are heating up, here are some of the views expressed.
2020.
A large number of MPs abandoned Mahinda Rajapaksa and joined the Yahapalana government out of greed for benefits and ministerial positions. If there were 45 today, in a few days it would reduce to 35. The next week it would further reduce to 25.
අපි ශ්‍රී ලංකා නිදහස් පක්ෂ
The SLFP and UNP inked an agreement, so no one can say we were lured to the other side through ministerial portfolios. We were given such positions as a result of the agreement we struck.
එනිසා මේ පුද්ගලවාදීව අපි කල්පනා කරන්නේ නැහැ. කවුද සභාපති? GL Piris.
Who is the chairman? GL Piris. The digital banner that is displayed in the background does not include his picture. Ranil Wickremesinghe intends to establish a government with 15 MPs. 6 of them are not even contesting. Can he win that way? Ranil Wickremesinghe won't win any more than 4 seats. He will only win 1 seat in Colombo.
කොළඹ එකයි එන්නේ. එක්සත් ජාතික පක්ෂය අලුත් වෙලා තියෙනවා.
This is a rejuvenated UNP. We have new faces in our party. We have corrected our wrongs. We need your valuable vote to correct those wrongs further. The challenges made to the UNP by certain factions are merely a fly landing on an elephant's body. The elephant does not even feel it.
ඇඟ උඩට නිකන් මැස්සෙක් කෙල්ල වැස්සා වගේ තමයි. ඕක අපිට අලියට දැනෙනවයි. අලියෙක්ගේ ඇඟේ මැස්සෙක් වැහුවට බේරෙන්නේවත් බැහැලු.
Ravi Karunanayaka, you and everyone else surrounding the UNP are dirty. There is nothing to gain from the elephant. The elephant is surrounded by people who have feces all over them.
සූචිකා ගත්තේ උන් ඉන්නේ අලියගේ වැටේ මැස් ඇඟේ මැස්සෝ නෙමෙයි මහන්නේ මේ වෙලාවේ වහන්නේ නීලානස්සෝ මිත්‍රවරු නෙමෙයි මුංගේ ගඳේ ඉඳලා. පරදුන මහින්ද රාජපක්ෂ මැතිතුමාත් එක්ක දේශපාලන
We were strong enough to contest with Mahinda Rajapaksa, who lost. We were threatened in the past. They said, if we clear the SLPP, they will make us walk on the road. But the big shot who made that claim is now contesting from our party.
මොන පක්ෂෙන්ද? ඉල්ලන්නේ බෝට්ටුවේ. මේ වැඩේ තියෙන්නේ ඔක තමයි ප්‍රශ්නේ. පොට්ටුවේ අරක් ගත්ත භූතයෝ ටිකක් ඉන්නවා.
There are certain ghosts within the SLPP. They claim I am sided with Maithripala Sirisena. Former President Mahinda Rajapaksa is the one who appointed me as an organizer. Those who claim to be the rightful owners of this party are making vilified statements to lessen our votes. They are attempting to publicize lies.
ලෙස බොරු මේ සමාජගත කරන්න උත්සාහ කරනවා. අපිට බඩගාවන්න හදපු අය අපි පාරේ ඇවිද්දා.
Those who attempted to make us crawl on the streets have been struck by karma. Those who attempted to destroy the SLPP are now contesting from our ticket. People of such caliber still remain within the party. The SLPP has only named one proper candidate who sacrificed a lot to create the SLPP. We do not know how the others were given nominations.
කොහෙන් ආපු අයද මන් දන්නේ. අලියා පොඩ්ඩක් අවුල් මේකා.
The elephant seems phased as of late. The mahout has lost his mind. Since the mahout will make the elephant drop the karandua, we are contacting you through the telephone. The wave will arise from Badulla. It is evident the people who hoodwinked the public in November 2019 are going to do the same in August 2020. However, people cannot be deceived. They are aware of the Rajapaksa's deceit.
2020.
Meanwhile, the police has launched a probe into reports which have surfaced stating notorious underworld leader Angoda Lokka has been killed in India. However, media spokesperson of police SSP Jalya Sena Ratna said sufficient evidence to support those claims has not been gathered yet.
Many newspapers reported today Lasantha Chandana Pereira alias Angoda Lokka had been poisoned and killed while in India. The newspaper reports went on to note that he had been admitted to a private hospital in Bangalore while in a critical condition after he had ingested toxins. Subsequently, he had died on the 3rd of this month. A woman who travelled to India from Sri Lanka had poisoned Angoda Lokka. Newspapers further reported that his final rites had been carried out in Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu, India. Newspapers had reported that a video containing the footage had also been sent to the sister of Angoda Lokka. Rumours are circulating that he is dead. However, we are yet to receive a legal confirmation to that effect. If we can obtain forensic evidence, we will explain facts to court and then move forward. We will continue investigations until official reports are received. We cannot reveal any further details. We are carrying out investigations through a mutual partnership.
අන්‍යෝන්‍ය අපරාධ පිළිබඳ සහයෝගිතා යටතේ අවශ්‍ය කටයුතු කර තිබෙනවා. ඒක ඉන්දියා රජයෙන්වත් මේකට තාම දැනුම්දීමක් සිදු කරලා නැද්ද? ඊළ වශයෙන් අපිට කිසිම දැනුම්දීමක් ලැබිලා නැහැ.
We have not received formal notices. Such ploys have been used in the past as well so that he can arrive in the country in disguise or even travel to another country. We have focused our attention on that.
එවැනි විකල්පයක් පිළිබඳවත් අපි අවධානය යොමු කරලා තියෙනවා.
Angoda Lokka is the main suspect in an incident where 2 prison buses from the Kalutara prison carrying another underworld leader named Samyang were shot at. 4 inmates, including Samyang and 3 other prisons officers, were injured in the shooting. Allegations have also been levelled against Angoda Lokka over a multitude of organised crimes. Why couldn't they bring down this most wanted underworld gang leader? Why isn't India handing him over to Sri Lanka? We all remember that there was a conspiracy to murder the president of the previous government. They arrested an Indian named Thomas, who was believed to be involved in this conspiracy. We later saw how this person in question was released citing a mental condition. Thereafter, nobody spoke about this person. He is missing. It was revealed yesterday that a Muslim convert, Sara, who was a close associate of Zaharan, responsible for the April 21st attacks, has fled to India. They say Sri Lanka has had a connection with India for a very long time, but there are too many issues. Everyone is trying to take their portion of Sri Lanka. This is our problem. They are now speaking about the constitution, but for whose purpose? Who is sponsoring this? We have those questions. We have heard and seen on media how an Indian High Commission delegation is holding discussions in several places. They have deals and agreements with foreign nations. Who is making decisions on behalf of Sri Lanka?
කවුද එතකොට ලංකාව සම්බන්ධයෙන් තීන්දුව తీරන ගන්නේ?
A state intelligence service officer testifying before the Presidential Commission probing the April 21st attacks last evening said someone from the inner circle of Zaharan Hashim leaked certain intelligence to Indian intelligence services. He added that he suspects the person could be Sara Jasmine or Pulastini, who is believed to have fled to India. Suspicions that Sarah Jasmine had fled to India was revealed at the Presidential Commission on Tuesday. Newsfirst's Muad Razik reports from the Presidential Commission probing the April 21st attacks about the proceedings today.
Ami Mohideen, one of the main suspects in the April 21st attacks, was arrested on the 24th of April 2019, just 3 days after the April 21st attacks. But prior to that, information have been revealed that on his hiding place in Pasikuda, today testifying at the commission, a former CID officer said, and he admitted that the CID failed to arrest Ami Mohideen and some of the main suspects of the April 21st attacks, even though the state intelligence or the SIS had provided them with the exact location of where the suspects were in hiding. So these were the main revelations made at the Presidential Commission of Inquiry probing the April 21st attacks.
On one side, reports are being surfaced on Anguraloka to have been murdered in India. On the other side, startling revelations are being made at the Presidential Commission probing the April 21st attacks. Amidst all of this, Indian delegates are holding secret meetings with the politicians in the north. Now the latest topic to come to the fore is the Constitution. National organizer of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna Basil Rajapaksa, attending a political meeting in Galle, said that Sri Lanka is in need of a new constitution.
Only obtaining a majority will be insufficient. We need a two-thirds majority. We need a new constitution for this country.
When Basil Rajapaksa speaks about a new constitution, the TNA has promised India of decentralizing power. In the policy statement presented by the TNA on last Saturday, it states that it has been certified again and again that the 13th Amendment would be fully implemented and that it would be constructed further, and decentralization of power will be done in a meaningful manner during the tenure of President Mahinda Rajapaksa. Their policy statement also highlights a statement presented by Prime Minister Narendra Modi in March 2015 at the Sri Lankan Parliament. Prime Minister Modi had said that he believes in a cooperative federal system. Meanwhile, leader of the TNA R. Sambandhan told the Hindu newspaper that the 13th Amendment has many errors because the administration is done by a governor appointed by the centralized government. R. Sambandhan points out that the administrative right in terms of Tamil people should not be confined to Colombo, but the people themselves should be in charge of it. Against such a backdrop, Indian embassy officials have started holding discussions with the political representatives in the north. Media was not allowed to cover the discussions held in the past few days. Leader of the TNA R. Sambandhan has even refuted expressing his views on this matter. However, M.A. Sumandiran and several other parties expressed their views on the matter.
We discussed India's involvement on resolving political matters. When we focused on the questions we asked them, it seemed that we were going to give out information on the field situation in the north to the Indian government. There is no problem in having discussions with India. India is the most powerful country in our region. The people have voted for Gotabaya Rajapaksa to form a new constitution without the 13th or the 19th. All of you must have seen how R. Sambandhan commended Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa on his 50th year as a politician. What is that newfound love of Sambandhan towards Mahinda Rajapaksa? There is some ulterior motive behind these commendations. They might think that we will be able to win this country over through a constitutional change after they could not attain it through the war. Some people say that the 19th should be abolished. You cannot just remove the 19th page and hide it under the pillow. If so, you have to bring forth a new amendment, the 20th. But you have to think what will happen if you pave way for the 20th by removing the barriers put in place to implement the 13th. We are not hoping for a constitutional amendment. The constitution should be formed in a way that the ambitions and aspirations of separatists and extremists are crushed.
Meanwhile, United States Secretary of State Mike Pompeo has urged India to focus on domestic supply chains and reduce its dependence on China. U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo made these remarks while addressing the U.S.-India Business Council's India Ideas Summit conducted online. Pompeo, presently traveling in Europe, shared his views through a recorded video message. The United States has told China to close its consulate in Houston in a dramatic deterioration in ties between the world's two biggest economies amid accusations of Chinese espionage. India's relations with China have strained following a border clash in the Himalayas last month in which 20 Indian soldiers were killed. Pompeo accused the Chinese of initiating the conflict, which is also denied by Beijing.
It's important. It's important that democracies like ours work together, especially as we see more clearly than ever the true scope of the challenge posed by the Chinese Communist Party. Our infrastructure projects, our supply chains, our sovereignty, and our people's health and safety are all at risk if we get it wrong. The recent clashes initiated by the PLA are just the latest examples of the CCP's unacceptable behavior. We were deeply saddened by the deaths of 20 Indian service members. I'm confident that with our concerted efforts, we can protect our interests. On a similar note, India has a chance to attract global supply chains away from China and reduce its reliance on Chinese companies in areas like telecommunications, medical supplies, and others. India is in this position because it has earned the trust of many nations around the world, including the United States. The United States has never been more supportive of India's security. India, too, is an important partner in a key pillar of President Trump's foreign policy, multilateralism that actually works.
It is against this backdrop that China and India are seeking to capture the port in Sri Lanka, which is strategically located along a busy maritime route. China now controls the south terminal at the Colombo port and the Hambantota port. It is against such a backdrop that a cabinet proposal has been made to lease the east container terminal of the Colombo port to the Adani Group of India. Owing to the strong objection raised by the trade unions, the Indian proposal has been shelved. The trade unions have now declared a black week in the port as a sign of opposition. The government is acting in a way all misunderstandings with foreign nations such as US, India and China are resolved via discussions and not conflicts. The government headed by the president does not have a policy of resorting to violent alternatives when it comes to dealing with diplomatic affairs. Many issues will be discussed with our friendly foreign nations without threatening national security and violating the general law and the constitution of the country. The government is attempting to maintain a friendly relationship with other foreign governments. I think so, with the relevant parties. This has not been informed to the cabinet. Frequent discussions are being held between the relevant authorities on both ends.
රජය මොකද්ද දෙන්න බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන අවසාන නිගමනය දැන් මේ වරාය සේවකව දැඩි විදිහට මේකට විරුද්ධයි. ඔබතුමාලා රජයේ ඇවිල්ලා තියෙන එකඟතා තමයි ඔබතුමාලා දන්නවා.
You know that a decision was reached to sell the Mattala airport. The president and the prime minister went to India, held discussions and reached an agreement to not sell the airport. So in the future these issues will be solved smoothly via diplomatic relations.
සුමට ක්‍රියාමාර්ග ඔස්සේ විසඳගනි
According to the minister, will these issues be resolved efficiently? The people also hope that these issues are resolved while the nation's resources are safeguarded.
Will India abandon the East Container Terminal while China operates at the southern terminal of the Hambantota and Colombo ports? British parliamentarian Thomas George John Tugendhat said that China is now an expansionist country. On Twitter, the British parliamentarian added that they are dependent on oil and gas from the Middle East and are building ports around the region, Djibouti, Pakistan, Oman and other countries. He added that the long-term loans are used to take over ports and said that Hambantota port in Sri Lanka and others in Laos, Cambodia, Vanuatu show challenges around the world. Responding to these posts on Twitter, the Chinese embassy in Sri Lanka said, quote, consecutive governments of Sri Lanka invited Chinese companies to build and jointly operate the Hambantota port with 100% Sri Lankan ownership, defense and sovereignty, unquote. The embassy added that Britain took over and colonized Sri Lanka from 1796 till 1948 by guns. Is the Hambantota port 100% owned by Sri Lanka? Although the Hambantota port is controlled by two companies registered in Sri Lanka, 85% of the Hambantota International Port Group Private Limited, which receives the majority of revenue and earned through operations at the port, is owned by China.
Party leaders. Political update.
Let's now take a look at opinions expressed by party leaders during several political rallies.
Several public meetings organized by the SLPP were held today in the Trincomalee district. The first of the meetings was held in Kantale under the patronage of Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa.
Many private firms have taken steps to invest in this sugar factory and have appointed director boards as well. We will be giving them a timeline to commence operations. If they do not, I assure you, we will take this over to the government and handle its activities. When the program to provide 100,000 jobs and the program to provide jobs to all graduates was gaining traction, the chairman of the Election Commission intervened and stopped it. I would like to remind you that once the election is over, we will recommence that program.
A meeting between businessmen in the city of Colombo was also held this morning.
When the value of the rupee was depreciating rapidly and it almost hit 200, we recovered it and brought it back to 185. We can change this situation quickly. We were more proactive than the other nations. The President appointed a presidential task force in late January when this issue was looming. He then advised authorities on how to control the situation. We secured funds through the powers vested with the President and curbed the spread of COVID-19. We need to think about the country first. For businesses to run, we need a country.
Leader of the Samagi Jana Balawega, Sajid Premadasa, attended several meetings held in the Badulla district today. A large crowd had gathered at one of the meetings which was held in Passara. The income streams of the people have been destroyed and businesses have collapsed. The incumbent government has been unsuccessful in addressing these issues. The Prime Minister of the country keeps making controversial statements to deceive the people. The people only want to know what sort of relief will be provided to them. We were asked not to pay lease installments. What is happening now? The people want to know if the electricity bills for March and April will be slashed. When these questions are posed, the Prime Minister says King Guanakabahu II had many wives. Your duty is not to entertain the people. As the Prime Minister and the Minister of Finance, you should apprise the people of your plan to recover our economy. The telephone will provide all the answers the people demand.
Former Army Commander Field Marshal Sarath Fonseca attended the Sutton political program aired on our sister channel, Sirisa TV, recently.
After a bomb attack against me, I was hospitalized from the 25th of April to the 25th of July. I arrived in Sri Lanka on the 25th of July. When I informed Defence Secretary Gotabaya Rajapaksa I have arrived at around 9:30 p.m, he sent a message across saying that he has an issue. I asked what, and he said that Mavilaru has been closed and he was wondering what to do. I asked what the acting army commander was doing until Mavilaru was closed. He then said that the acting army commander refused to do anything. I asked for 30 minutes from him. I called the Eastern Commander. 20 minutes later I called Gotabaya and said that we will fight and capture it. The head of state has to order to start a war and to end one. But during this war, nobody ordered me to wage war in Mavilaru and capture it. I was asked about what could be done and I suggested that we enter into war. That's how the war started.
And with that, wrap up news for tonight. Thank you very much for joining us. I'm Sandra Ferdinando, and joining me tonight for sign language interpretation was Taraka Gabriel. Take care and good night.